Chemicals we use in agriculture, industrial agriculture, are pesticides, insecticides. Their origins come from Hitler's labs. Chemicals made to kill people in concentration camps are the same chemicals that are being used now. After the wars, they tried to shift some of the chemicals to the Third World in the name of the Green Revolution.
You've heard of lab-grown meat, but what about lab-grown fruit? New Zealand scientists at Plant and Food Research are looking at how to produce fruit without a tree, vine or bush.
Plant and Food Research is working with cells from a range of fruits, including cherries, peaches and apples. Scientists say among the benefits could be reducing the environmental impact of food production and being able to feed future populations in urban cities.
We need to change cows, just cows alone.
How are we going to do that?
To make what's called artificial meat.
Artificial meat, they are creating the meat with chemicals. Some have said it was very nice. They ate it and said it was very nice.
This plant-based meat is not only amazingly delicious, but it's also better for you and better for the planet.
My mind is blown right now. Like, the texture is perfect. The juiciness is there. Like, it's chicken. It's chicken. The stringiness, it's pulling apart. It totally mimics the real thing. And I would buy this. I would eat this. I'm eating it now.
We make meat without killing a cow.
Why are people making it?
Climate change.
It's better for the environment.
The environment.
It seems as though that the mission statement behind all of this is, hey, we're going to give you the taste of meat, but it's better for you and it's better for the planet.
They think that God was a fool for saying, go into the world and multiply. He didn't know he needed more oxygen.
Genetic engineering is a process where scientists take genes from one species and force it into the DNA of other species.
It refers to crops that have had their genes specifically altered to express a certain trait. In very simple terms, this means taking a certain gene from one organism, like repelling insects, and transferring that trait into a plant's DNA sequence so that the plant expresses an insect-repelling trait as it grows. It uses specific genes from one organism to modify the genetic code of another. You know exactly what trait will be expressed.
In 2001, a small California biotech company called Epicite patented a gene, which causes both men and women who eat it, in the form of any product, to produce antibodies to sperm. If the men eat the Epicite gene, they produce antibodies to their own sperm, rendering them irreversibly sterile. If women eat the Epicite gene, when they have intercourse, their bodies produce antibodies to the sperm that has been deposited, and they become infertile through the destruction of the sperm. Now, DuPont and Monsanto formed a joint venture, purchased the Epicite firm, and, quote, commercialized the Epicite gene. Do you want to know if the food that you're eating contains the Epicite gene? Sure you do. How about the food that your children are eating, or your grandchildren? Sure you do.
Think about what's going on today, where organizations like the United Nations, sadly, carrying out a so-called food program for food security and actually creating shortages. And the whole thing is about creating an artificial shortage of food. And so while they are causing the shortage of food, they're announcing to us that there's likely to be shortage.
With regard to food shortage, yes, we did talk about food shortages. And it's going to be real.
One of the ways by which they seek to frustrate and destroy food supply across the world is by creating genetically modified food and seedlings, such that farmers lose the right to grow their food independently.
Governments are signing horrible bills into law, like plant breeders' rights. I don't know if you understand what that means. It actually means that the plant breeders have rights to create hybrids. And when they create these hybrids, when you purchase the hybrids to produce your crops,